Hi, I'm Terry and I'm nuts about stamping. I'm back today with another Sundays with Sizzix project. I'm going to create a thinking of you card to send to my son in college, and I'm going to do that with the help of my Big Shot. My card base is going to be smoky slate. I've cut it 8.5 by 5.5 and I've scored it on the 4.25 mark, and that is going to be my card base. Now to that, I'm going to add a strip of designer series paper. It's Bermuda Bay and Whisper White in color, and it comes from a brand new designer series paper pack called Motley Monsters. Yeah, it's designed for Halloween cards or kid cards, but one of the pieces in it is on the back of, here we go, it's in the back of the pack. And so I thought it would be perfect for sending to my son. So I've cut a strip that I think is 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. I'll put the measurements over on my blog. Before I adhere that to the front of my card though, I want to add a strip of basic black ribbon. It's like a chevron ribbon. And so I always leave my ribbon on my bolt and then cut it the length I need it so that I don't waste. And I'm going to attach the ribbon to this strip. I'm going to turn it over. And normally I would use sticky strip, but I seem to have moved my sticky strip off of my table. So I will use snail adhesive. That should work just fine. And I'm just going to fold the ribbon over and adhere it to the back. And then I'm going to lay this ribbon piece with the designer series paper on my silicone sheet because it won't stick to it, because I'd like to add a second piece, and I'm going to wrap it around and tie it in a little knot like so, and then also cut that off the bolt. And now I'm ready to attach this strip of designer series paper to my card. I'm going to put some snail adhesive right on top of the ribbon as well. That should work. And that is going to go over on the side of my card, like so. Now I want to add a stamped phrase, just a little bit crooked. There we go. Now I'm going to add a stamped phrase to the front of my card and use my Big Shot to help me out. So for the phrase, I'm going to use the Perfect Pennants stamp set, and I'm going to use the phrase that says, "Sending good thoughts your way." I've got it mounted to clear block C already, and I'm going to color it using basic gray. I like the basic gray as opposed to the smoky slate because the smoky slate is just a little bit light, a little bit too light. And again, it's just personal preference. And then I'm also going to use my Bermuda Bay marker, and I'm going to just color the good. So sending good thoughts your way. I have a scrap piece of Whisper White cardstock that's 3 3/4 inches square. There we go. I'm going to stamp it down in the center. Perfect. And then I'm going to bring in my Big Shot and my magnetic platform, and I have my Circles Collection framelits, and I've chosen a circle from this pack that just barely fits around the phrase. And you'll see why in a minute, why I'm doing that. So I'm going to, my platform is the magnetic platform, which you want to use for framelits, then the bottom standard cutting pad, the cardstock and the framelit, top standard cutting pad, and then I'm going to run it through my Big Shot. And that will die cut out the phrase like so. And then I'm going to make the same sandwich, magnetic platform, bottom standard cutting pad. I have a scrap piece of Bermuda Bay cardstock, and this time I'm going to use the Starburst framelits. And I've got a framelit that's just going to be a nice background to the circle. One thing I forgot to tell you. These Circle Collection framelits are on sale for the weekly deals ending on, I think it's September 1st. Yeah, Monday, September 1st. So for this week only, you can get a discounted price on the Circles Collection framelits. So this is the week to take advantage of it. I've got the same sandwich. This time I have got the Starburst framelit. And this is going to create a layer for my phrase, like so. There we go. So there is the layer that's going to happen on the front of my card. But before we get there, there's one other product that's on sale this week only for the weekly deals, and it's the Essential Hardware Clips. So I thought it would be fun to use one of those on the front. Let's see, maybe I'll just lay it on like that instead of putting the arrow behind, and I'll attach it using a mini glue dot. Don't have to clip them behind. I think the arrow is really cute, and I want the arrow to be pointing to the word good. So I just put a mini glue dot behind the arrow, and now I'm going to add one final touch. And for that final touch, I'm going to add some Whisper White Baker's Twine. I always, again, leave my ribbon and my twine on the bolt. I'm going to create a tiny bow, like so. Then I'm going to cut it off. And then I am just going to attach it. Just going to cut off a little bit more of the tail. Attach it to the front of my phrase using a mini glue dot. So I just press the glue dot onto the mini glue dot, peel it off, and then poke it down like so. So there I have a really cute phrase layer for the front of my card. Here's my card. I'm going to bring it back in. I'm going to put lots of snail adhesive. There we go. On the back, flip this over. Now I could bump it up with Stampin' Dimensionals, but I don't think I'm going to do that this time. I know that's a shock because I usually use Stampin' Dimensionals on everything. And there we go. A really quick and cute card that I created using my Big Shot, my circle framelits that are on sale, the Starburst framelits for the layer underneath, and then the Essential Hardware Clips, which are also on sale this week. For a complete listing of the supplies that I used to make this card and the measurement for the cardstock, hop on over to my blog, www.nutsaboutsstamping.com. While on my blog, make sure you're a customer newsletter subscriber. It's free to subscribe, and I send out 3 newsletters each month. One of them's coming out this week with lots of holiday catalog project ideas. You can ask me a question. You can find the button to link to my online store to place an order. You can request a catalog from me. You'll have to send me an email to do that. Or you can just check out lots of other sample ideas that I post on my blog. I'm Terry. I'm nuts about stamping. See you next time. Bye for now.